Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't see any numbers for it. But I mean, I saw like a couple of like written review blurbs, and I was like, okay, that's like very similar to what you told me over text. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure last I looked yesterday, Rotten Tomatoes was critic 92, audience 99.
that's pretty good.
That's fantastic.
That's like Infinity War Endgame levels of Rotten
Yeah, that's
Tomatoes.
it's insane. And the fact that I I saw a couple of reviews that were negative reviews.
Mhm.
By the way, guys, welcome to the podcast. It's License to View. We're talking about Shang-Chi right now.
Yes.
So I saw it yesterday in
We'll find its Rotten
IMAX.
Tomatoes real quick.
Right, I saw it in IMAX yesterday, and I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic movie, and I was very apprehensive about it going into it for months because I just don't know the character, and I'm a huge fan, as people know on the podcast, and as you know, Zach,
Mhm.
of martial arts
Still
movies.
92, 98. That's pretty good.
That's fantastic, and I was really apprehensive about it. But when I watched a review from Chris Stuckman, one of the OG YouTube movie
Hmm.
reviewers, and in his review for it, he basically said, I'm boiling it down, that the director of this movie should do anime movies because of what he was able to do with this movie.
Damn.
And I was watching Shang-Chi, I was watching the final fight, so it was like, this is what Dragon Ball should have been.
Mm.
Like the final fight, the beginning fights were not that, but the end fights, this is Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Levels of intensity, and having a being one of the people in the audience who is a massive fan of
Hmm.
Wuxia, and like Jackie movies and all the Lucky Stars movies and then all that stuff.
Hmm.
I knew that it wasn't going to be a Jackie movie.
Right.
I think if you went into Shang-Chi expecting it to be a Jackie Chan movie, you're an idiot. I think if you walked into Shang-Chi thinking you're going to get the raid, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I think you need to understand, which is a review that I saw today on YouTube, someone saying like there was like not enough fights in the movie.
Hmm.
There's like Shang-Chi has like three big fights, really,
Okay.
four big fights, right? But there are more fights in it with other characters,
Okay.
so they kind of like they only have so much time, obviously. But critic was saying that like it was like half-assing the wuxia stuff. They didn't necessarily like he didn't expect the movie to be that tone or that style because it felt more like Mulan than it did what the comic book version of Shang-Chi is, which I don't know enough. I know he's a
Beats me,
spy
dude.
at some point,
He's just
but
beats me, dude. I got no clue.
yeah. But I heard that review and I was thinking back to the movie and I'm thinking like there was like, and it's not a spoiler for you, Zach. It's just like
Hmm.
just a tonal tone type thing or homage to the style. There's a fight in the beginning of the movie that's very like fantasy kung fu.
Okay.
It's very Iron Monkey. It's very Once Upon a Time in China. It's very, what's it called? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's that style.
Okay.
It's all Peking opera type stuff. And then there's cuts to like Shang Chi stuff in present day, and it's clearly inspired by Jackie.
Hmm.
It's clearly inspired by Jackie, in the way that he fights.
Hmm.
And this reviewer, was like really like kind of iffy on that. And I was taking it as that's great because they're not going headfirst into just one style because it's a Marvel movie. Like no one's going to see a Marvel movie and wants to see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
You know, imagine how they would fucking people would react if that was just the movie
Yeah.
was Crouching Tiger. They would people wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like it, but not the average fucking action movie Marvel fan.
Yeah. No, I don't think most Marvel fans would probably like that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's obviously a crossover, but not like to the point where you want to make Black Panther money. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not gonna make a fucking
Which it
make the
seems like it's
raid and
on
make.
its way to do that. I've seen that it's been getting pretty good, a pretty good taken at the box office this weekend. So
I mean, it's not gonna win a fucking Oscar,
no,
you know. Which, by the way, just to reiterate, Black Panther is not Oscar worthy of a movie.
I don't think any of them were like. I don't think any of them are like Oscar worthy. I mean, I guess maybe like Infinity War, just because of the visual effects of like the way that Thanos looked, I think would probably be the only thing would be like
No, on
Oscar worthy at least.
on the VFX for sure, absolutely, it's insane.
Hmm.
But in terms of like
In terms
screenwriting
of
or
that, in
acting
terms
or
of the stuff that like actually matters, like screenplay, actors,
yeah, well,
directors,
matters to us,
yeah,
matters to the
I
fan.
none of those
Yeah,
movies deserve. Yeah,
none of those movies deserve
no.
anything. And my reaction after Shang-Chi, I was so I'm not gonna obviously that's no spoilers here, but
Hmm.
after the first fight scene, not even after, in the middle of the first fight scene, I leaned over to my fiance and I said, "This is the best Marvel movie of all time." And it's not because it's thematically it's the best or because the story is the best. This is the beginning of the fucking movie.
Yeah,
But immediately they pulled the camera out and it was wide,
hmm,
and they had two actors or stunt people, and most of them were actors, and they were fucking fighting,
yeah,
and they were doing choreography. It was not Paul Greengrass, whatever the fuck his name
yeah,
is from Born Identity. It was not. It's not Black Widow. So I explained all this to my fiance because after Black Widow, I was so like, this movie's fucking whatever.
yeah,
And then she was like, well, it's because you just don't like women. And I was like, no, it's fucking bullshit. So earlier today, we were on YouTube, and I was like showing her clips from the Daredevil hallway scene,
yeah.
right? Or I showed her the. You didn't watch Punisher season 2, but
No,
there's a season 2 Punisher fight where he's in the bathroom and he fights a bunch of girls who are assassins,
hmm,
and then he fights a bunch of Russians in a gym and he fucks them up.
yeah,
And I'm like, this is how come the Marvel TV show can pull the camera out and show the stunt people actually working because they put time into to the gym to practice and choreo. Whereas obviously Black Widow, they didn't give a shit.
yeah.
They didn't make
What
Scarlett
was the thing
Johansson go there
that
and train.
I think I heard it in a Node video or something like that. I can't remember who, or maybe it was in Arlen. I can't remember, but it was like I didn't watch Black Widow because
Guaranteed
I
it was
didn't want to
no
waste my
video.
time with it. But it's like that whole aspect, which I think is entirely true, and you can tell just from watching just trailers of the movie. But it's like a lot of their action stuff is CGI fuckfest,
Yeah.
and then it's also a lot of those action scenes are like planned out in advance way ahead of time. So it's like a lot of the times like it doesn't even really like necessarily like match or matter to like what's going on. Like they just
Yeah.
have this action scene, then they're gonna do it.
Well, if you also, I've been recommending it to you for, I think, a year now. But Scott Adkins'
Mm,
podcast that he does in bursts called Art of Action
mm,
is amazing.
yeah.
And if you don't want to watch all of them because you don't care about the performer, don't watch them. But a couple are really great. Like he talks to Gareth
Mm,
about the raid and about all that stuff. He talks to Chad Stahelski, who is the guy who does John Wick
mm,
and the Matrix and stuff like that. So in that interview specifically with Chad Stahelski, I hope I'm saying his last name right. He talks about being a stunt coordinator on movies and the director being like, "Yeah, I only shoot the drama. Let the second unit director do the action.
yeah.
I don't do action." And his response, paraphrase, was like, "It's all the movie.
Yeah.
It's all drama. It's all storytelling.
Mm,
So you fucking learn it."
yeah.
You know what I mean? So we watched Black Widow, and I was breaking it down to my fiance, being like, "This is why Black Widow I hated because first off, they have a ton of female stunt performers. Yet for Taskmaster, they put a guy in the suit,
Yeah.
which is fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous. Just cast a lady. You can do it.
Yeah.
You have them on payroll. The performers weren't. The choreography looked like shit. And I'm sure it didn't look like shit in pre-res,
Yeah.
right? In previs, I'm pretty sure it looked fine in previs. And then when they shot it, it looked like trash,
Yeah.
right? Whereas Shang-Chi, Zach, the cinematographer of Shang-Chi, is a guy named Bill Pope,
Hmm.
right? And I know Bill Pope from one movie in particular, or three movies in particular. He's done a ton of shit, and I've seen a lot of his movies. I didn't know it was his. I didn't know he shot those movies, but I know him for three particular movies. The first one came out in 1999,
Okay, so it
and
is the
it's by the
Matrix. Okay.
Wachowskis. Yes. So I'm watching this movie going like, I know this dude can shoot fucking action.
Yeah.
I fucking know it. And then the lead actor puts the fucking work in. I saw a video today on TikTok of him behind the scenes, like him like doing a slide off a bus and like catching a pole and like spinning him. Like, dude, he's fucking putting the work in.
Yeah.
And it shows on screen. You know, so midway through the first fight, where fucking Tony Leung is like fighting in this like wuxia fight, I'm like, this could be a Hong Kong movie in this particular moment,
Mm-hmm.
and then it obviously becomes a Marvel movie,
Right.
in the best ways possible, I think.
Okay.
You know, and this is not me being like a, rice eating fellow rice person, being like, oh, of course I support the. No, if it would have fucking sucked, I would have.
Yeah.
If it was a terrible action movie with bad martial arts, I would have fucking destroyed it because that's important to me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was a fun movie, and Aquafina, surprisingly, Zach,
Not annoying?
was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, she's actually surprisingly
I
funny.
usually hate her because she's super annoying.
I do too.
But...
I'm completely on board with you. That's how I feel.
That's fair.
Break.
You're
gonna like it, dude. You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to get into it. I mean, it's, I think we've been talking for a while. Like, I mean, for us, as far as Phase 4 is concerned, this was like the last movie that we really cared about. And after this, I don't really give two rats ass about anything else that's really coming out. Like, I don't care about female Thor. I might watch it just because it's Waititi, and I like what he does. I like his writing style. So I might give it a chance just because he's doing it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't give like two rats asses about it. But I don't really care about anything else. Like, I don't know. Spider-Man hasn't really gripped me because at this point it still just feels like it's like trying too hard to hit the nostalgia shit with like bringing Alfred. And I love Alfred Molina. I'm glad he's back, but like
he's dead.
Yeah,
I don't know how
he
they
died.
explain
Like,
that.
I saw you die. So clearly you're not that Doc Ock. So they brought him back for like something. I don't know. I'm gonna need a really good explanation for why Alfred Molina is Doc Ock in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man I really am kind of up in the air about because I hate that storyline anyways.
I mean,
in the comic books.
I think we talked about this already, but the trailer's stupid because the whole movie is fixed by Spider-Man not being an idiot and being like, oh, I can just tell MJ or whoever I want to tell after the spell's done. Bam. That conflict
also,
is
like,
resolved.
We've talked before about this in different things, but I don't think Tom Holland's a bad actor. It's not about Tom Holland as an actor.
Yeah.
It's about how they write Peter Parker.
Yeah, no, they write.
I think
especially in this one. I feel like in this one specifically, the trailer, they made Peter Parker look like an idiot.
Well, just in general, like he's constantly having to rely on Tony Stark. He doesn't really.
I was
like
bringing that up to other people too because I brought it up. Because it's like this movie. I guess the second movie didn't really have that much. I guess kind of Mysterio filled that role, but he was also a bad guy, so I don't know. But then this one is he's with Doctor Strange all the time. Like, is Spider-Man not going to be in a movie where he's just supporting like by himself? Like, why is he always going to have like another older person with him?
And and honestly, I was thinking about this when I was because before Shang-Chi they played the Batman trailer.
Ooh.
Not the new one that they're going to have at DC Fandom, but just the first one.
Okay.
And it was really cool seeing it on the big screen on the IMAX. But I was watching that and I was telling you about how I was really enjoying the trailer last week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what got me interested about it was it wasn't even it's not the action that there's in the movie that could be in the movie, because we know the director can do action. We know that. It's more so about the fact that it looks like Batman's actually a detective in it.
Yeah.
Or at least has detective aspects, right?
There's at least going to be some detecting going on.
Is a mystery. He's going to try to solve the mystery, and I appreciate that. Whereas in Spider-Man, all the fucking movies, not one of the movies, in my opinion, nails Peter Parker.
Well, it feels like it really doesn't, because I feel like, and the first one is, I think the biggest problem with this is that they kind of like handicap his character, because the whole point of Peter Parker's character, besides first of all, they handicapped him by not having like Uncle Ben death being like a thing. I don't know why, but that's just like not existent in this Marvel universe for some reason. So his whole existence for being Spider-Man in the first place is like not there, unless they mention. I don't remember them mentioning it at all in like the first two movies.
They just kind of They kind of
glaze over so it's like really like the driving thing of like him being a character is not there, but also besides that, the whole point of Peter Parker is that he's really fucking smart and he like makes his own shit.
Yeah.
And this is not a Peter Parker that does that. Like
No.
the first movie, he gets his suit handed to him by Tony Stark, and it does all this weird, cool shit. But he didn't earn it. He didn't like do
Yeah.
anything to like make it. Like it was just handed to him. And then in the second movie, it's all about those stupid fucking glasses.
Well, there's a point where I just don't understand why Kevin Feige and whatever roundtable writes these movies
Yeah.
decided to give 16-year-old Peter Parker like all this gear.
Yeah.
Because now, if he has to fight any of his regular villains, you would have to really soup those guys and girls up,
Yeah.
or do what they did in the first movie and be like, you don't deserve to have the suit, which is like fucking, he's dead. Tony Stark's dead. Who cares?
Yeah.
So even in the trailer for this
Also,
movie, he
they
has the
only
Iron
did that
Spider
for
suit.
like 30 minutes, and then he just got his regular suit back. So
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. And so, like in the Toby movies,
yeah.
they just completely they mention that he's a smart kid,
Mm-hmm.
but they kind of like bypass it by making him just nerdy.
Yeah.
He's just a
They
nerdy
also kind of
guy.
bypassed the. I mean, they also kind of bypassed in the Raimi ones too, with him not having to create anything because they were just like, oh, he just naturally,
He makes it.
he just
Yeah,
has,
exactly.
he just naturally has webs. Like he doesn't have to
Yeah.
use web shooters. Like he just has.
And
Webs.
then in Garfield's like he's like, oh, he's a nerd, but
He
also
actually
he's
has
a
web shooters in
skateboarder.
Garfield one,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
but he's like a nerd. He's a skateboard. He makes the web shooters or whatever.
He's a nerd, but in Garfield, he's like not a nerd. He's like a cool nerd, which is also
he's
like
a cool nerd.
the what is it, the Rich Evan thing where it's like nerd culture is not for nerds anymore. Nerd culture is for jocks. And like Garfield Peter Parker is like the epitome of that, where he's like supposed to be a nerd, but he also like rides around on his skateboard and like has like weird emo hair because he's a super edgy kid.
Yeah, and also like in the Tom Holland,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen him pick a fucking camera up once.
No, yeah, I don't even think like
That's
I don't
his
think he's
fucking
ever touched a
job.
camera. Well,
That's your college job, asshole.
No, yeah. I guess because in the Raimi ones, yeah, he's always been a
Peter's
photographer.
job. That's how he gets bit.
Yeah.
At the his opening scenes, he's taking pictures of the school on their field trip.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with Marvel one in general is that like, I don't know. I guess I kind of appreciate that they like skipped the whole origin story thing, but they like skipped it so much that like, I don't know. I felt like they just ended up taking away a lot of the key core components of like what makes Peter Parker a character.
Yeah, I would love it though if the opening scene of the next movie is like flashback to Ben dying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still confused as to like why we haven't got that moment.
Like
Like I get
flashback
it,
to
it's
Ben
like the
dying.
Batman thing where we've seen his uncle die, in Raimi and the Garfield
Just
movies.
twice.
But like, in every Batman movie, you still have that moment where you remind the audience of like what's going on, so the motivations for the character and like what he's doing makes some sort of sense.
Well, also like with Batman, if you don't at least imply or subtly imply
Mm-hmm.
the murder of his parents,
Yeah.
you don't instill the idea that Batman won't kill.
Yeah.
And that was the big failure with the Zack Snyder Batman. He just kills people.
Yeah, but then in Zack Snyder's Batman, he also points to the fact that his parents were killed. So it's like he has that point there, but then he's just like, he kills people anyways.
He kills people anyway. But then with Peter and Marvel movies, it's kind of like I think it'd be really smart if they open the movie flashback to Ben dying,
Mm-hmm.
and then it cuts immediately to like J. Jonah Jameson being like Peter Parker murderer.
Yeah.
And then it would be like Uncle Ben wouldn't want this for you. Uncle Ben was murdered, and here you are killing Mysterio.
Yeah,
to me that's like the perfect way.
I mean, honestly, like the whole like Uncle Ben wouldn't want this for you of like his secret identity being out would be like a more compelling reason for me to see him like try to reverse it than just like people are shooting me with a camera.
Well, not even the secret identity thing, but more so like Aunt May maybe believing that her husband, who was murdered probably,
Mm-hmm.
and now her nephew is not only a superhero but also one who's willing to kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, like the theme of that would be interesting because they have what's his name as Jay Jonah back. So
Yeah, I
like,
got. Um, oh my god, now I can't think of his name.
yeah, I always forget right now.
Oh my god. Why don't I just want to say J. Jonah Jameson? Why? I can't think of his damn name.
I don't know.
Hold on.
I,
You keep talking.
I'm gonna try to figure it out.
It's
Okay,
gonna be.
Oz,
Hold on.
Whiplash, Miles Teller, and Miles Teller and Miles Teller and
Jim
okay, what
Gordon.
else is he in?
Okay, hold on. I can't think of it. God damn it. It's gonna be. I'm gonna see it and I'm gonna get pissed
On
off.
My Tempo. On My Tempo.
Oh, okay. Okay. God damn it. I know why I
Give me
couldn't.
the first. Give me the first letter.
J.
Jonah Jameson. Okay.
Yeah. See, it doesn't help.
No, what is it?
J.K. Simmons.
Jesus
I
Christ! Of course, it's
know.
J.K.
I was
Simmons.
like,
Yeah.
gee, God damn it, dude.
Well, let's
That's why, because he's got the two initials like J. Jonah
the
Jameson
yeah,
does.
exactly. Let's go ahead and Zach. This is a podcast where we
It is.
every week we have a topic, and we talk about that topic. And this week we are talking about the 2020 movie Jiu Jitsu.
Yes. Jason,
Huh.
you're my friend.
Yep.
We're buddies.
Yep.
Pals. Some would say
Sure.
best friends.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Sure.
I hated this movie.
This Jiu Jitsu, legitimately is a piece of shit.
It's
It's a
like,
piece of
it
shit.
is. If we weren't watching it for this podcast, I don't think I would have watched more than 10 minutes of it.
I wouldn't have got past the Tony Jaa fight.
Dude, I don't think I would have even gotten that far. Like,
because okay, so here's the premise, real quick. You guys who haven't
you
seen
can't do this because we
Jiu-Jitsu.
don't even learn the premise until 50 minutes into the movie.
Well, we'll go ahead and just give you the basic trailer breakdown real fast of what we thought going into the movie.
Yeah.
Right? Jiu-Jitsu is about a space alien who does martial arts,
Yes.
who every 6 years comes to Earth in a comet to fight people, or
it's like
the comet comes by. There's a portal.
complicated version of the plot from Predator.
Predator. Yeah.
It's like the Predator plot, but more stupid.
Yes. And first off, that sounds dumb as it is.
Yes.
Right? But then you couple with it. Okay, so hold on. This is where I have to start because I have a lot to say.
Okay.
And it's all negative.
Yes.
And I want to preface this first.
I think there was
I want to
two positives that I had in this whole movie. Maybe just one.
Okay,
it's really
I have
just
one.
Tony Jaa. Really.
Okay, I don't even have that.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to my positive later. But I want to preface this first before we rag on this movie.
Okay.
Right? Making a movie is hard.
Yes, it is.
And I want to preface this for any movie that we shit on ever in the past, present, or future. We understand making movies hard. I went to film school and animation school. I understand how much work goes into making a movie or a cartoon. I understand.
I totally get it.
I also want to say
I totally understand how much work goes into it. I know that I probably could not do it if I wanted to do it.
Right.
I would probably make a movie that looked worse than this. But
sure.
This is a professional movie that was bought by Netflix and is on their streaming platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's widely publicly available. I'm going to shit on it.
And also, I want to say that I am not blaming anybody in this movie as an actor or performer. All the people in the movie,
stacked cast, honestly.
All the people in the movie are clearly talented because I know a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen a lot of their work, and they're talented people, right? It was not the problem of them.
No.
It was the problem of a director and a screenwriter or a choreographer, whoever was doing it, and I think the editor mostly, not even the choreographer. The editor.
No, I think it was the editor, yeah, definitely.
Not choosing some crazy fucking choices for how they do these fight scenes.
Is it the editor's fault? I think a lot of the times I had more problem with the actual camera direction than the actual editing.
I had a problem with both, but I'll start. I want to
I think
mention the editing first.
the camera choices were more obvious to me and pissed me off more than the editing.
Okay, I completely agree, except for that I think editing was worse for me.
Okay.
But this movie has Nicolas Cage, Tony Jaa,
Frank Grillo.
Frank Grillo, and then the main character is
I don't know who the main character is. I
Alain.
don't really.
He's a martial artist
Yeah.
guy, another action movie guy. Been in a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly very talented at martial arts.
Yeah.
So stacked
Yeah.
cast, right? And there's the Asian lady. I can't remember her name.
I didn't recognize anybody else besides Grillo and
Yeah,
Cage.
but
And
those,
Shaw.
but the main
But
group of
those
people
those
are.
three are enough to normally pull people into a movie.
I mean, Tony Jaa's a star by himself. You know.
I
What
mean, outside of yeah, I mean Tony Jaa for like people who like action films is enough to draw people in. Nicolas Cage is a huge fucking name, and Frank Grillo
Yeah.
is I don't know what to classify him as. I guess he's not necessarily a rising star, but
No, I would say Frank Grillo is B tier action lead.
yeah, I would. Yeah, I would say beer too. Yeah, I guess he's on the same
But
level as like
it's
Scott
the
Adkins
action
and like
lead.
those kind.
No. I'm talking about a separate fucking hierarchy, right? Scott Adkins is a tier action lead.
Mm.
In the world of action movies, Scott
Yeah,
Adkins
that's true.
sells a movie for being Scott Adkins. Tony Jaa sells a movie for being Tony Jaa.
Yeah.
Right? Jackie Chan's Jackie Chan. Bruce Lee's Bruce Lee. Donnie Yen's Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo leads a ton of movies, but he's not the same kind of lead that Scott Adkins is.
Mm.
Right? You have like he'll make like 2 movies a year, and I'll watch the trailer for one.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like Tony Jaa, anything Tony Jaa's in, people are like, "Is Tony fucking Jaa?"
Yeah.
You know, Iko Uwais is the same thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna see anything he's fucking in, right? So you have all that talent. Everyone's good in this movie in terms of like their physical ability and previous work and we've seen. But then for me, I knew that I was checked out because I was fucking Dunstan checks in the opposite.
Halfway past asleep at one point, like.
Oh yeah.
I was not feeling this movie.
No. The editing was my big error.
Honestly,
Obviously,
I think special effects was like the biggest thing for me because I mean, in the first 2 minutes, you have that scene where he's running through the forest.
Yeah.
And I was so confused as to what was going on. There's a bunch of shit flying by. None of it looks like it's real. None of it has an impact. I'm so confused as to what's going on. And I'm like, oh, those are shuriken?
Yeah.
No.
But to me, even that, which is it's glaring.
Yeah.
I can deal with all that. I can deal with the shitty acting on like the little compound. I can deal with all the action level editing.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of action movie acting, I'm fine with that. But then it comes to the choice of color correction for some of these rooms. This looks like YouTube movie.
Yeah, the lighting it's like the first room where they have the fight or where he's being held prisoner or whatever. It was like, you can't have an action scene. Like I can't barely even see like what's going on.
And I don't mean to shit on the actress because I'm sure she's nice, but like the
military girl,
the intel lady, Jesus
so
Christ,
fucking
dude.
annoying.
I saw her
get the shuriken, and I was like, thank God she's not in this fucking movie anymore.
That opening scene where she like sits in the chair backwards, I'm like, fuck off, dude. No way.
Well, that was like, first of all, all her scenes pissed me off because in that, I guess this is like a camera editing thing as well, but like in those scenes, they're instantly breaking like the 180 rule multiple fucking times. Like there's multiple times where she's like asking a question and the next cut is her on like the other side of him. I'm like, you can't do this to me.
Cross the line. You can't cross the line.
You can't cross the line. Like you have to actually show her walking. You can't just cross the line.
Well, they're trying to be French about it, I guess.
I guess.
So I even that I was able to persevere.
I could not.
Right?
My brain was like.
But the moment the person that I thought was going to save me from the movie, which is Tony Jaa, the moment he shows up, I thought I was going to be saved. It was going to be an awesome movie.
Yeah.
But all of the fight scenes of him saving his friend, who I never learned his name, I forget it at the moment.
Did we ever learn
Christian or something? Is it Christian or Gary? I don't fucking know what
Did we ever learn his name?
I thought we did. But either way, it doesn't matter. The whole time of the infiltration scene, aka infiltration, none of the choreo made sense in terms of like, why are you going into this building to climb out that building? Like, just fucking walk up. All the actual impacts, it made me feel like Tony Jaa was phoning it in.
Mm.
Like, it looked like it wasn't really cared about.
Yeah.
But what made it, and that could be completely wrong. Maybe what I'm going to say next is what's actually causing that effect, which is that they. It seems like they filmed it slower so they could add slow motion to every single
Dude,
fucking
that was another
hit.
thing I was gonna bring up. You want to hear people talking about how Zack Snyder abuses slow mo in his
Slow
movies? Watch
motion.
this fucking movie. It's
Yeah.
like every single hit is slowed down.
Every single
Ridiculous.
thing in this movie, every punch, kick, it's like Batman Arkham Knight. Like every single
Yeah.
finishing blow where it
Every
starts
single thing,
slow
yeah, where it
mo's.
slows it down, or it's like every time is like a close uh clash in Tekken where like the whole screen like slows as like the two people hit each other.
Exactly. I dropped my ring, so I'm trying to find it. So
But
whatever. I'll look for
yeah,
it
it's
later.
just like it's
But
just
then
like
that
thing
that
after
the,
thing, because then it's also like it's the terrible framing device of the comic book, and like all those transitions
oh,
look
that's terrible.
shitty as fuck. They look terrible. Some of them are just like landscapes, and those are fine. But then they have one transition specifically. I can't remember what it was, but it's like when main guy main face is like walking through the forest, and there's like a transition where they like
Mm.
try to draw him, and I was like, you can't put this like this looks bad. You can't put this in the movie like this.
But I want to go back real fast, just real quick to that Tony Jaa infiltration scene
Yeah.
because the shots were so wide and clunky looking,
Mm-hmm.
but then just the way that it was lit or colored or whatever it was, the color correction post process, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
post production, it just made it seem like a real. It still feel like it was a real low budget movie,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he saves the guy, and then it cuts to that fucking like GoPro footage.
Dude,
That shit was terrible.
that was like the POV shit with like the main guy doing his action scenes. I'm like, that
Yeah,
works for hardcore Henry, where the whole movie is POV and it makes sense.
yeah,
You can't just randomly do POV. And then they're also like switching back out of it. They're like trying to do the meta shit where like the camera basically gets kicked and the perspective shifts to
yeah.
like third person again for like 10 seconds. Then they're like, oh no, we need more POV. And he like physically picks back up the camera and like places it on his head or some shit.
But then also with that, I feel like I could be wrong in that POV shot where you see Tony Jaa's characters like fighting the
Yeah.
guys. It felt like those particular fight scenes were like really slowed down
Yeah.
and really unenthusiastic and really like kind of like, okay, this looks like a bunch of people who made a Power Ranger fan film
Yeah.
and a bad one. You know, that's what it felt like.
But it looks like a bunch of people who liked Predator but also like martial arts movies.
Yeah. After that scene, which is not 20 minutes into the movie, 25 minutes into the movie, and the movie's not long. After that scene, I was pretty much.
I think that's like 15 minutes into the movie.
It's around that in the 15 and 20
It's like
range of the
15 when
movie.
Tony Jaa shows up, and then it's like
But my finger, I had to hold back the fast forward
dude,
protocol.
honestly, I was waiting for the text from you, like when we did our sci-fi thing. I was waiting for the text when you're just like, Zach, I can't do this anymore. And then I was gonna be
It was
like,
close.
no, you have to finish it because I
It
already
was
finished it.
it was close, dude. No, I finished it in one sitting, but it was
It was
I it was a struggle.
it was not good.
And like I said it a couple weeks ago, I have to now eat my fucking words.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a man of honor. So if I fuck up
Okay.
something, if I talk out my ass, or if I'm wrong, or if I think whatever, I'll do my best to make sure that I correct that error.
Okay.
I once said I love Nicolas Cage in everything, and he is the best part about this movie, to me.
Yeah, probably.
He is the best part about this movie,
His action scenes are terrible.
but it does not save. As much as I love him, and I think that he's the best part of the movie, the whole thing still feels like
I liked him in the movie, but it also felt like it's another one of those movies where it didn't feel like it was Nicolas Cage playing a character. It felt like it was Nicolas Cage being a Nicolas Cage. Like a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, I talked about Pig. That is Nicolas Cage like actually playing a character. This felt like it was just Nicolas Cage being crazy Nicolas Cage.
It was Nicolas Cage looking for a paycheck.
Yeah. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
those gambling debts, man, they just rack up so quick, man, that sometimes you just go popping for a quick 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
I think he's positive again with his bank account.
He should be. He's put out some bangers this year. Besides this movie, I mean, he probably didn't make a lot of money from Pig, but he's been in some stuff recently.
Well, how much shit he's putting out every fucking year.
Dude, I don't even want to. I'm about to look, but I don't even want to know. I feel like he's in at least like 10 movies a year.
I think this year he's in 3, 4.
He's in. There was that time. I think it was like I don't remember exactly when it was, but I feel like it was like
Right after he had paid his IRS.
yeah, it was like mid 2010s or whatever, where it was like he was in like 6 or 7 movies a year.
But I saw a what's it called? Like an article about the IRS thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it said like his at one point he had $150 million for net worth, and now he's worth like 10 million.
Jesus.
Just pay your taxes.
Pay your taxes, dude.
Pay your taxes.
So what happens when
If
you're too crazy,
anything-
man? You think you're above the law.
Well, look, man, you don't get away with it. The IRS is gonna get you.
They're always going to get you. They always get their
You
money.
can't. That's the one thing you don't fuck around with.
No.
And well,
Death and taxes.
first off, taxation is theft.
Taxation
But
is
also, they're gonna get you at some point. If they want to fuck with you, they're gonna fuck with
theft. Oh
you.
yeah. Especially if they know you
But
got money, like you're Nicolas Cage, they're going to go for it.
Yeah. And if the article's correct, if he's worth $10 million, to be acting full time since you were like 19 years old,
Yeah.
and you only have $10 million, and you're in all these big ass movies,
Yeah.
$10 million is like a quarter of a big ass actor's
Yeah.
pay whatever. So he's the best part about jujitsu, which is not saying a lot because the rest of the movie is terrible.
Garbage. Absolute
Terrible.
garbage.
The fight scenes, terrible.
Fight scenes, terrible. Special effects, terrible. So much fake blood. Maybe one
It
of
looked bad.
it's bad.
It looks bad.
It is. I want to send the whole movie to Node because they could break down all the VFX and how terrible it is for this entire movie.
Dude,
Because it's not just bad; it's obviously bad. Like, the shurikens
fight
look
scene where
terrible. The fake blood looks terrible.
Yeah. When the alien fights the black guy,
Yeah.
and the black guy is like dying, and he has like his leg cut.
That scene
looks
also made
so
no
shitty.
sense to me. It made no
Yeah.
sense. Like he cut the guy's leg, but the guy's still fine for like an entire action sequence. And then
Yeah.
that action sequence is over, and then he's like, "Ah,
I'm
a
dying.
leg."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Bitch, I just saw you like do a flip kick. Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah, you still like a fucking spin ass. It's
Yeah,
like a super
I just
spin
saw
kick.
you like do a whole ass like spin roundhouse.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Ah, my leg.
And then the fight scene right after that with like the grappler guy.
Yeah,
Which is
not good.
people who are from where we're from, or we're from where we live, not where we're from, because we're obviously from two different places.
Yeah.
But where our adopted home.
Yeah.
Some people would call it boonie. Is how they would describe that fight scene. Was nanny or boonie? Boonky.
Boonky.
Boonky and nanny. That's how they would describe that fight scene. Shit was trash. It's ass. It was terrible.
So bad.
It was like it was like slow, uninteresting kung fu, which is how I think. Isn't that how? Who? There's a comedian that uses that particular phrase in a bit. I can't remember who says that.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm about to Google it.
Speaking of comedians, though, honestly, the
Uninteresting.
most egregious part of the movie, even though he wasn't in it that long, was that fucking black guy. The comedic relief character, that shit was cringy.
Yeah,
Terrible.
agreed.
He's like, his running joke is that he's an interpreter, but he doesn't fucking speak the language. And I'm like, first of all,
Yeah.
from the context that I have of this movie, this is like an elite special forces group that's like on a secret mission. How the
Mhm.
fuck did you get on this mission if you can't even do your fucking job?
That opening scene with that where he's
Oh my
translating,
god.
it went on way too long,
It's not funny and it goes on way too long.
way too long. So I want to real quick. Speaking about that, the one pro I have about this movie
Okay. Besides Nicolas
is
Cage.
that it's real short.
Dude, it's not even short enough.
No,
I
it's
got to the
not.
point where it was like there was 40 minutes left and I like accidentally and I paused it. I think I had to like go to the bathroom or something. I came back and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I still have 50 minutes left of this movie?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter.
No, none of it matters. Well,
It's
the
never
actual
redeemed.
movie, like I said before you started explaining the synopsis, the actual movie doesn't really even happen until like 45 minutes in, because that's when the plot's
Hmm.
explained and you actually know what's going on. Like
Yeah.
I get it. You're supposed to do like they're trying to go for like the amnesiac fish out of water protagonist so that you can get all this stuff explained to you. But when your
Yep.
plot is this fucking bonkers and you don't tell me anything for like 45 minutes, like how am I supposed to be invested? Like it's halfway through the movie and I don't know what is happening, what's going on, what are people's goals? Like I have no clue
Or
what I'm supposed to be invested in.
you do that and the writing just
Yeah.
sucks. So
It's
who
also not a
cares?
good fish out of water character.
Yeah, who cares? So it would be better off just having him just want to fight and win.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
Because
when the
well,
movie was
they also do that so they can have the twist where it turns out that he's a coward, and I was like, okay, but he hasn't been a coward this whole time, and apparently he does no growth because now he's like, I don't remember that. I'm not a coward. Fuck it, and then he goes and fights him. And I'm
yeah,
like, okay, then what was the point of like this whole twist?
yeah. Because at the end of the movie, when he puts the grenade in the guy's body and then does the little whatever the fuck that you want to call
I
that,
don't even know what.
the movie was over. I hit exit on
Yeah.
Netflix and was like, I will never, ever get that time back.
Nope. That is an hour and 40 minutes that we.
Because there's a big difference between watching movies like Miami
Yeah.
Connection, which are they're terrible, but they're great because they put effort into making a
Yeah.
movie, and they're not filmmakers, so there's charm about it. It's so
Yeah.
stupid that it
Yeah.
works. But these people make movies professionally. This is their living,
Yeah.
and it's just bad.
Yeah.
So not only am I giving you no credit or slack because this is your job,
Yeah.
whereas like YK Kim and the guys over in there in Jacksonville, where the fuck they filmed the Tampa, where they filmed that movie, this is not their job.
No.
You know,
They were
like
doing this because they wanted to.
they just wanted to make a movie with their
Yeah.
buds. That's why I sent you a text a few days ago. I was rewatching some of the scenes from the movie because I was looking at different. I'll tell you after the podcast why I was looking at it.
Yeah.
But um, the scene in Miami Connection where the 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 guy's girlfriend, the Dragon Sounds
Yeah.
the main guy from Dragon Sound, not YK Kim.
Mm-hmm.
He's with his girlfriend at the school, at the college, and then her brother shows up, and he's like, "Who's this son of a bitch?" Which honestly, real quick, I should probably take it again because he didn't even say it that good. So who's this son of a bitch? He's my friend. A
A
friend.
friend.
That alone is so bad, but it has so much power and heart. And then YK Kim shows
There's
up.
an earnestness to it.
Is yeah, and then YK Kim shows up, and then they have to bring the dialogue down to literally like
Sentences.
two words per minute because whatever. In the middle of the dude talking, YK Kim is or whatever the fuck his name is like, I'm not scared of you, and the guy's still talking. Goodbye. It's like, dude, that's terrible. It's a fucking super far ass shot too. It's like so far away, but something about all those blunders make that like endearing.
Yeah.
And they go to the beach
Mm.
and they start driving in the car and the top's down
Well, look,
and it's rad.
the most important thing is is that they have friends that will be
forever.
together forever.
Whereas in this movie in Jiu-Jitsu, the movie was over. And I was like, why? Why did we do this? Why did we do this?
I don't know.
There's no positives.
There's no positives.
And
There's only
I looked
pain.
at the score.
Only pain.
I went to Rotten Tomatoes to look at the score. It had a 27%. I was like, how the fuck does it have 27%?
I don't know how this got that high.
That's a 2% movie.
This is the most 1 out of 5 movie I've ever seen.
It hits every box for 1 out of 5. Again, I won't preface this. I can't do spin kicks.
No.
I can't do any of this shit. But it's my job as the viewer of a movie to either like it or hate it.
Also, I just thought of this.
Uh-huh.
It's not actually jujitsu that they're using,
No, it's not.
but they talk about the style. Like, they talk about jujitsu like it's like superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why do they call it jujitsu? Why can't you just
I
call it
don't know.
something else?
Yeah.
Like, jujitsu is an actual thing that like has meaning, but this movie
Why not?
does not care about that. It just likes the name jujitsu.
This movie should have just been called Jiu-Jitsu, have the same exact cast, but instead of being this Predator bullshit ripoff, have it just be Enter the Dragon or something.
Yeah,
Like, make it like a tournament movie, and then have
always
the
down
big
for
bad guy
tournament.
alien character be like a master of Jiu-Jitsu. And then have it be Man Tai Chi, but not Man Tai Chi. Just do that. Because the way that what it is now, I'm literally looking at my Predator poster right now,
Mhm.
and like there's it's so ripped off, but it fails at every level.
Yeah.
You know, there's no fear with the bad guy.
No, I mean, that's the weird thing is with them trying to basically copy Predator. You would think it would lean more into the horror aspects like Predator does, but it doesn't. Like,
Yeah, no.
it borrows the premise from Predator, but like the whole premise of Predator is to be a horror movie. But this is not that. This is just trying to be a straight up action movie, and that doesn't
And
doesn't really work.
and it fails at that.
Yeah, it doesn't really work at that.
And when you have, 3 full-time action leads,
Yeah.
and you can't triple threat the movie, how can you?
Dude,
How do you have-
that's a good action. I'm about to go fucking.
How do you not
Triple
have?
Threat. That's a good
How do
action.
you not have? How do you not figure that out?
Yeah.
3 leads, and you can't.
You
and
had
then,
the guy from Triple Threat in your movie.
in the movie. You can't even figure that out.
Hmm.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Well, Zach,
Jason.
is there anything else you want to mention about Jiu-Jitsu? Because if we keep going, it's gonna keep going.
We're just gonna keep shitting on it. It's look, guys, just don't watch it. Save
don't watch
the
it.
hour and 40 minutes of your life and just don't watch the movie. It's not worth it.
Usually, Zach, when you ask me on the pod,
Mm.
or even in our real life friendship,
Yeah.
like Jason, how do you feel about the movie? And if I don't like the movie,
Yeah.
what do I usually say? Do you remember what I usually say about a movie if I don't like it?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, fine. I'll say it, and you'll probably remember because I've said it 1,000 times on the podcast.
Okay.
And not even including our real life, our off pod real life friends. If I see a movie that I don't like, I will usually respond with, "It was a movie."
Oh yeah.
And you asked me, Jason, how do you feel about Jiu-Jitsu? My reaction was not that. My reaction was, "This is a piece of
This
shit."
piece of shit.
It's not even at the level of it was a movie. I can't even acknowledge that it was a movie. Miami Connection is a great movie.
That's a
Right?
fantastic movie.
Rad is a great movie, even though you don't like it.
Rad's
Airborne
an okay
is a great
movie.
movie.
Airbud
Airborne
is a fantastic movie.
Well, I said Airborne, but
Oh.
Airbud too. But like all these movies that are bad movies from the 90s,
Yeah.
Brink, all these Disney Channel movies, they're good movies. Or they're just, it was a movie.
It was a movie.
But Jiu-Jitsu isn't even there. Jiu-Jitsu is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
It is a piece of shit on the ground. It's terrible.
Dog dude.
It's terrible. Then I see the trailer for the new Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh yeah,
the
Ghost
neon,
something?
whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, Ghost or something or whatever.
something.
And the trailer looks rad, and the director's rad. So I have super high hopes for it, because I know that it's not going to be this piece of garbo.
No.
that we got. Because to me, this movie, Jiu-Jitsu, feels like, hey, how do we make some money without actually trying?
Yeah.
That's how I felt watching the movie. It was like, you guys just fucking want to make money off me.
Yeah.
I mean, more so than a usual movie, but like,
You can
you're not
tell when
gonna
a movie's
fucking
just a
care.
cheap cash grab.
That's what I felt like. That's what I felt like. We're gonna put all those people together. People will pay to see it for that.
Mm.
You don't care about this movie. You don't give a shit. So that's how I feel about Jiu-Jitsu.
I feel you.
Well, hey.
Mm.
Is there anything else you want to talk about in general before we end the pod? Anything in particular? Anything going on?
I can't remember because we already kind of touched on like the main things that I was thinking about, which is like all the Marvel stuff with like Spider-Man and like that whole fucking thing. I don't think there was anything else. I know the first reviews for Dune came out.
I heard they were rough.
Most of the ones I saw were pretty positive.
I saw one on a Facebook
I saw
group that I was in that was like,
but IGN is like not really like my go-to. But they said something. It was like something that builds up to a. I think they said something like builds up to a third arc that never materializes or something like that. And I was like, I don't know. I'm still excited for it, but
yeah, I saw a review. Someone posted a review. I don't know where it was from in a Facebook group that I've been.
I remember seeing Colliders looked pretty positive. So
the one I saw, the quote that I saw was like beautiful, but ultimately waste of time or something like that, or Dennis couldn't figure it out or something. I was like, oh man, which I don't think is true because I feel like I don't think I haven't seen Arrival, so I can't talk about Arrival, but
I really like Arrival.
Not one of his movies have I walked out being like completely disappointed.
I don't think I've ever watched one of his movies and thought he hasn't figured it out.
I mean, to me, the two ones that I walked away being like, it was fine, were Enemy.
Yeah, Enemy is probably his most like, movie.
And then Blade Runner.
I love Blade Runner. That's fine. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, I thought Blade Runner was like unneeded sequel.
It's unneeded, but it's more enjoyable than the first movie for me. So.
Yeah, I completely agree on that. But also, I felt like there was no point. And I have it on 4K. I watched it on 4K. I didn't watch it in theaters. I watched it on 4K, and it looks great. Yeah. But after I watched it, I was like, why did we make this movie? This serves
We
zero
made
purpose.
the movie because Dennis wanted to make a Blade Runner movie.
Oh, I know. But like, I feel like just keep doing Sicarios, keep doing Prisoners. Like, don't do. Yeah. You gotta do these franchisey things because, like, I'm sure Dune's fine.
Yeah.
But honestly, what he should have done was get the Matrix and make the Matrix because I don't think
this Matrix 4 would have been pretty dope.
Dude, when I was in the theater seeing Shang-Chi, there was a guy. This is gonna sound really insensitive of me, but it's not going. I don't mean it to be.
Okay.
But there was a guy who was there. I saw the movie at 12:45 in IMAX, and this guy was there. He was a big chubby dude, bigger than me, like a real chubby chubster. And which is not a problem. I'm just describing the man, so you understand what I'm saying.
I get the mental image.
Middle age, maybe, no friends. Seeing the movie by himself, which is not a problem. But I can tell you he had no friends because he was talking to the popcorn kid about professional wrestling for way longer than he needed to be, and there was a line. And I also want to blame the popcorn guy because he was talking too enthusiastically back and causing the line to slow down. First off, don't do that.
No,
talk
don't
after
do that.
There's a line.
I'm here to get shit, and especially if there's a line, dude. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah. So I'm wearing a Matrix shirt, right? And he's done talking to this guy's done talking to the popcorn kid, and he's walking past me. He goes, "Oh, hey, nice shirt." I'm like, "Oh, hey, thanks, man." He goes, "You know they're making a fourth one, right? I don't know what they're gonna do. That third movie was pretty bad." And I was like, I don't know, but yeah, I know. I mean, I'm wearing a shirt. I don't know. He goes, "I don't know what they're gonna do. How they gonna bring Neo back? I mean, he died." And I was like,
I don't know.
and I was like, I don't know, probably a program. I don't
Eh,
know. And he kept trying to talk to me, right? And then eventually
he kept
he
pushing
walked
it.
away after that. Not really, but he was like he wanted to, I could see in his eyes. He wanted to talk to me, and this is where the insensitive part comes. It's not about him wanting to make friends. It's not about that. But it's the fact that at movie theaters, I'm not here to make friends.
No,
I'm here to shut the fuck up
and watch a movie.
and watch a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Right? So like for example, Zach, you're the guy who doesn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You talk in a movie, which is not a problem. You don't talk to people, you talk to yourself.
Yeah, that is yeah.
So when we go to movies, all of our friends, there's 10 of us in the line, 10 of us in a row, and most of our friends are quiet.
Yeah.
I think I don't know who else yaps.
Darren talks a lot. Darren talks more than I do.
Differently. He talks to people.
Well, yeah, that's
You
actually
talk to
honestly
yourself.
in my estimate, I feel like that's almost worse when you're trying to like talk to somebody else.
Yeah. He also does a thing, and if he's listening to this, I'm sorry, Darren, but you do this. Is that he'll talk during trailers, and I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. People who talk during the trailers because in their mind, this is not part of the movie experience. It is. It fucking is. This is part of it. So this guy was trying to talk to me, and I'm not in talk mood.
Yeah.
I'm in analyze Shang-Chi mode.
Yeah.
Right? So when I go see Matrix 4 in IMAX or whatever the fuck's gonna happen in December,
Mm-hmm.
you best believe that I'm like, I got blinders on.
Nobody's talking to me.
I already took the red pills already in fucking dissolving in my body. I'm ready to be woken up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The fucking Rage Against the Machine's playing in the background. I'm ready to fly out of the fucking phone booth.
Do you think
You
they're
know?
gonna play Rage Against the Machine again, and they're gonna bring back our angst?
I don't think so. I don't think they will.
Who would they play? You've got to
I
have
don't
some
know.
sort of like 90s.
Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish.
I think I might just I think I might just walk out if that's like.
I would love if Neo and Trinity run a 90s synth club and it's just Dragula. I just want that scene. I just want Neo to be the bartender and like he's like, what do you want to drink? And it's just Dragula in the background. So this guy, he walked away. He was a nice guy. He just didn't have friends clearly, right? Which is not a problem. People don't have friends, right? I have friends, and movie theaters to me are meccas, right? I don't view movie theaters as the place to make friends.
Yeah.
That's just my person. Maybe I'm a dickhead. I don't know. I probably am. I'm a dick. So I'm like, I'm not trying to yap it up. I don't even want to yap it up with my friends when we go, you know. And we've gone to a billion movies together, Zach. Where it's like you and me and like 8 other people. We've gone to 1,000 movies together.
Yeah, we're going to quite a few.
And then you'll be like, I had to sit far away from you.
That's true.
It's a purpose. I had to, because the first time I didn't know, I was like, not again. So after that, that's your thing. I don't get mad at you. I just move far away to where I'm next to our friend Kyle, and Kyle's quiet, and then I'm far away from you in the aisle, so I don't hear you.
That's fair.
Or I put Darren's near you, and then y'all can banter or some shit. Cause I remember, Zach, real quick, just real fast.
I don't like talking to other people though. Like my thing is,
right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, I wouldn't. I just make.
You get excited.
I make comments.
You get excited. You get excited. It's not a bad thing. Yeah. But we were seeing X-Men, I believe.
Probably Days of Future Past.
I think we were saying Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the scene was, but you like did this. We're watching the movie, and you were like leaning back eating your Mike and Ike's.
Hell yeah.
and you were like this. Yeah. And then you like shouted at like Cyclops or something like that at the screen, and you got really fucking excited.
Oh, I bet you it was the end of the movie when they fucking show up and like all the original cast are there and Cyclops isn't dead.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
that could be
hell
it.
Yeah, Cyclops.
Yes, and you were like, you're a loud person, as it is.
I do have, yeah.
Which we joked before in high school that it was because your voice used to crack when we first met you, and that just fluctuated volumes.
It still does that.
But you were loud because you were super excited, right? And that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, who's like very much like, shh, everyone, don't talk.
Yeah.
Just be quiet. Watch the movie. Like in The Matrix, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way there's not going to be a massive architect info dump.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to do 2 more movies after that, and it's going to be a sequel trilogy. Which at that point, why wouldn't you do 2 more movies if you're doing a 4th one?
Yeah.
You know, it makes no sense. 4 movies, you do fucking 6.
Yeah.
So they're going to be an info dump.
You give it the Star
how
Wars
the fuck
treatment. You do another 3.
right. How the fuck Neo's there, or Trinity's there? They're gonna have some info dump where they're gonna be like, "Oh, the Matrix was recoded, or this is whatever, whoever the fuck they're gonna do. This is a previous Matrix or whatever, right?" Which won't make sense either because Neo's not born yet. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment, if anyone fucking says a word, there was a fucking guy doing Shang-Chi, and I know I'm going on about this, but I get so irked about small things. Like 98% of life I don't care about, but 2% of things that don't make sense make me really mad. Like, for example, the fact that Arby's sells milkshakes makes me infuriated.
Why?
Exactly why? Why the fuck do they sell milkshakes?
No, why are you so mad about that?
Because a place that sells roast beef should not sell ice cream.
Oh, hold on. Now, I don't
It makes
get
no
that
sense
at all.
It makes no sense.
What are you talking about?
There's no point. Why? That's disgusting.
Zaxby's
That makes no
sells
fucking
milkshakes.
sense.
Why do they sell chicken? Why would...
Zaxby's sells milkshakes?
Yeah.
That's infuriating.
You've never had a milkshake from Zaxby's?
No, I didn't know how they do that.
I don't know if they... Well, maybe they don't anymore. I know they used to. They used to have like a birthday cake milkshake.
But so, hold on, to flip that. Arby's has milkshakes. It makes me really fucking pissed.
They got their Shamrock Shake.
I get legitimately
No, that's
angry.
McDonald's.
That's McDonald's. But like, my fiance was like, "Hey, we should get milkshake at Arby's. Like, we're there or something." And I was like, "Are you?" I was like, "Fuck off!" I got like pissed. I was like, "No way!" But then we'll go to Chick-fil-A and get a milkshake, and I have no problem.
Okay, now I'm fucking confused. What?
So there is no rhyme or reason to it.
Because you just got mad about the fact that Zaxby's might sell them.
Exactly, Zach. There's no rhyme or reason. So, in the movie theater on Shang-Chi, this dude was walking down the steps, but this motherfucker, his flip-flops were too far back on his foot.
Ooh.
I'm wearing flip-flops right now, right? So his foot was not like this.
Yeah.
All the way up there in the thong.
Mm-hmm.
His foot was like a little bit of slack in there.
Yeah.
So it's doing this shit.
Yeah.
Midway in an IMAX theater. Not 2 rows. Mid fucking way. Both feet.
That's a lot of slaps.
Slacking. So I wasn't watching the movie anymore. I was blasting laser beams at this fucking dude's head. They have some fucking respect.
That's
theater rules. No babies.
Oh, no babies for sure.
No babies.
Look, no kid that isn't old enough to understand that they need to control their crying or their volume.
Yes. Yep. No kids, no babies. Now, if it's a mature kid, fine.
As long as it's a kid that knows to be quiet, then yeah.
If you have any sort of snack item, you open that shit in the previews. And you do it quick Band-Aid style. We ain't doing this fucking... We ain't doing the...
Well, that shit never made any sense. Why would you stretch it out? Like, you're not being quiet. You're just making the noise last longer. Just rip that shit out like a Band-Aid.
There was a guy in front of me, and I know IMAX theaters have really high seats.
Yeah.
There's a dad in front of me with his, 10-year-old son. And this dad was watching TikToks of girls on his phone with really high brightness during trailers, and they dim lights during trailers.
Yeah.
And cell phones in a movie make me want to piss on you. It makes me so pissed. It makes me so mad. Because I turn my phone off. I have respect.
No, yeah, I turned my movie theater mode on my watch. That, does the whole thing.
There you go. Yeah, that's perfect. But, people who want to dilly-dally with that shit, yo, you're banned.
Hey, homie, as soon as that first preview starts, that phone better be in the pocket.
My last thing I want to say about this Shang-Chi trip
Well, this is
because
all
this
the
IMAX.
Shang-Chi trip?
This is all saying
This is
Shang-Chi trip.
quite an adventurous
Well,
movie
two two
experience you
two
got.
things I want. Two things. This is the same IMAX theater that I've been going to for all other movies that I
Is
mentioned.
this West Ashley?
Citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah. They still aren't bumping up the volume.
I feel like that was a problem that we had when we went to see like fucking Rogue One or some shit like that.
It was in the Heights. Music volume was too low, so I couldn't hear shit.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi volume's too fucking low. Black Widow volume's too fucking low. It's just like no rumble,
Mm.
right? So that's just a theater problem.
Yeah.
But number two, whoa, God, I lost it now.
You
I
lost your
lost what I was gonna
complaint?
say. I lost my other
Oh
complaint.
shit, dude.
Oh well, that's the natural world telling me to stop bitching.
That's your mind telling you it wasn't that big of a deal.
No, it's a big deal. I'll remember it like a half hour. I'm on the couch being like, I'll get pissed again just thinking about it. What the fuck was it?
Uh-huh.
What annoyed me in Shang-Chi? What annoyed me? People, all of them.
Somebody smacking their food too loud?
No, that wasn't that bad. No, everyone was pretty fine.
Mm.
I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Oh, I have another one though. Just
You
thinking
just
about
got
it.
a new one.
This asshole in the first row laughed way too loud at the jokes from Aquafina. He laughed way too loud.
Mm.
The
He
first
laughed loud like he thought that Aquafina would date him if she heard how hard he was
no
laughing.
no, it was like the first 10 minutes of the movie. It was like the first joke, and he was like, you would have thought he was at a stand-up show. It was way too loud. I wanted to throw my fucking bag of popcorn down the fucking stairs, hit him in the head. Shit was so annoying. I want every movie theater to be the way it was when I saw Selma.
Empty?
Fucking quiet. You know what I mean? No one's gonna talk during
You
Selma.
can just have it like it was when I watched Pig. It's just empty.
Right. Or how I would imagine the theater was during fucking Schindler's List. Quiet.
Dead silence.
Dead silence. Maybe a tear here or there, but if you have too many tears, fix that shit.
If you have too many tears, you're faking it. So
Walk outside. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear you having a full mental breakdown.
I don't want to hear your emotions. I don't want to hear you having emotions because I don't. You know, I can't remember what my other one thing was, so I'm just gonna forget about it. It's in reality, it's irrational anger that just forms in my things I care about. I don't know, makes no sense, but I don't know. So, hey guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you back next week with more podcast.
Yeah, we'll have it.
See you guys.